Hi, I'm Leo, and this is
Heidi.
Where are you from?
I'm from France.
Yeah, j'ai faim.
J'ai faim?
J'ai faim?
Oui, j'ai faim, j'ai faim.
Yeah, means hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe in France or in Europe, do you eat a lot of maybe Italian food?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, really?
So many. Actually, in Paris, there's so many Italian restaurants, and I love Italian food. I really do. And I think a lot of French do.
Yeah, and later, if we are going to order, we will scan this QR code.
Yeah,
They
okay.
will have no like staff to
Yeah,
come. I think it's
see.
cultural difference.
Yeah,
between
also,
you.
yeah, no, we never have that in France. It really doesn't exist, basically.
Really?
And I used to be a waitress in Paris. Yeah, so yeah, we don't have that. We have to go tables to tables and ask what they want to eat, and that's it. Yeah. So it's a bit new, yeah.
How makes you want to learn Asian culture, like come to Asia?
Oh, actually, that's a very good question because firstly I studied Japanese. I have a bachelor degree in Japanese studies.
Hondo desu ka?
Honto desu.
Wow! Sugoi desu ne! And yeah, and
Now I'm in a master degree about Japanese religious studies. To understand Japanese, like older texts, I need to learn basic Chinese grammar. Because like Japanese older texts were written using Chinese,
Kanji?
ancient Chinese. Yeah, exactly. And the grammar is the same as Chinese. So I need to understand the Chinese grammar to like be able to understand older Japanese texts if I want to continue study Japanese like religions and history. That's why I'm learning Chinese here. But I also love Taiwanese culture actually.
yeah, wow, that's super cool.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought why don't you just stay maybe in Japan? Why you come to Taiwan?
If you're learning Japanese, to learn Chinese because like it makes it easier basically. You can understand a lot of things. A lot of things are making more sense to me, especially while studying also in Taiwan because there's the traditional characters and it's just you understand so much about Japanese kanji studying traditional characters. It's really logical and I think it's helping me a lot even with my Japanese. So yeah.
So what inspired you to learn Japanese culture?
Well, like everything started with like manga and anime. I think like most people do. I think if people say they're interested in Japanese culture, usually it started with manga and anime because like when you're a child, I was just watching it on TV. In France, like I don't know why it was on TV. Yeah, when I was a child.
Manga. Like
Yeah, when I
anime.
was like 8, 9, I watched like Bleach on TV. Yes. And then I was like, that's really interesting. I love that. And then I just continued watching more, and I just got interested in Japanese culture after that. So after my high school diploma, I decided to continue in Japanese study, and like I made the right choice. I think I really like what I studied.
Sugoi desu ne. So have you been to Japan before?
Yeah, I have. I've been to Japan twice already. Once as a tourist back in 2018, and once I went to Japanese language school there in Tokyo for like a month.
So do you have any maybe culture shock there?
First time I came, for example, I was fascinated with 7-Eleven and Combini and like Combini in general, like Family Mart and stuff, because in France that just doesn't exist. We have no store that are open 24/7. Like
Even McDonald's?
yeah, no, McDonald's closed too. That's why even here I was surprised to see McDonald's and everything always open because in France it's closed. Yeah. Coke. I'm really bad at cutting pizza, so
Oh, no worries. No worries. in the future, would you like to live in Asia or live in Europe?
I would love to try living in Asia, especially in a country of which I speak the language, otherwise I'm not quite confident. So like maybe more Japan. Actually, I'm going to stay 1 year in Japan after that, after Taiwan. Yeah. So I've never really lived or stayed a long time in Asia, so I think I need to try before.
Which city are you going to live in Japan?
Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Yeah, because I'm working on temples that are in Nara and near Kobe. Even like the countryside is really, really pretty. I love temples. It's like I really love temples. So Japan is like my paradise for that.
Bon appétit.
Bon appétit. Yeah. Yeah. But you should definitely come to Japan. I think you'd like it.
Oh, I would love to. Yes.
You should.
But I heard it's Takai over there.
Oh, 本当に? Yeah, I think compared to Taiwan, it's quite expensive. But compared to Europe, it's really cheap.
Really?
Well, not really cheap, but it's less expensive.
So you feel Japan is cheaper than France
Yeah.
in Paris?
Especially for eating in restaurants. In Paris, you have to pay at least like 15 euros now. Even 15 euro is a bit hard to find. In Japan, you can find really like restaurant for 500 yen. Or
So in France, do you have tipping culture like US as well?
like not like the USA. It's okay to leave a tip, but you don't necessarily have to. But in Asia, you don't tip at all. Yeah.
C'est bon?
C'est très bon.
What is your favorite part in Paris?
My favorite like place or neighborhood.
Yeah. Or anything?
I really like the 5th arrondissement, the 5th borough. It's like there's the Sorbonne, which is like a big university in Paris, maybe the French most famous university. So there's a lot of students. There's a lot of like great bar and great place to eat, cheap place to eat. And yeah, there's Rue Mouffetard, which is like a street. There's so many crepes vendor, and they're all so good and really cheap for Paris. And I just really love this place. And yeah, we also have a Japanese borough, a Japanese street kind of. And I used to work there also. Maybe that's why I really like it. But there's so many good Japanese restaurants and so many like good Japanese bakery also. So I really like to hang out there. In Paris also, I really like boulangerie, like place where they sell bread and desserts. And that I'm really missing French dessert actually, because it's really different from here.
Have you tried croissant in Taiwan?
Actually, I don't like croissant.
Oh really? So besides croissant, is there any other maybe famous bread?
Pain au chocolat. I think I've tried some, but it's just really different from France. Most of them are really like oily. I miss also stuff like macarons, that kind of things. That's a bit hard to get in Taiwan. But I don't know why. Also in Taiwan, there's so many cannoli.
And a lot of people say French people are the most romantic people in Europe. So I wonder, any maybe stories, romantic stories like French guy they do to you, did for you, or yeah.
For me, I don't really know. Yeah, I've had some like romantic moments in my life, I'd say. But I don't really know if it's really true that French guys are the most romantic. I've actually had this conversation with a friend here because a lot of people are saying that. And yeah, like my friend said that French guy or French people generally are really romantic. I don't know. Like most romantic, I think it depends on people, but I think French girls really like to get flowers. And French guys don't give enough flowers to French girls, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I think that's nice. And I don't know.
So, how do they normally do, like French guy?
How do they do? Oh, they French guy pay the bill. Sometimes it's nice also.
So maybe in the future, would you like to maybe marry a Japanese guy or like European guy?
I don't really have any preferences, to be honest. With Asian guys in general, I'm just a bit afraid of the cultural differences around the idea of like being a couple, because you know, they have this, well, especially in Korea and Japan, I think that they have like being a couple is kind of a trend. So people get together while not really being in love. At least that's the image I have of like, especially South Korea, I think, but Japan also. And like that's really, really weird to me, and I like would never do that. So I'm a bit afraid of that kind of things in Asia, especially. But I'm not against dating people in Asia or people from, I don't know, the States or from Europe or from, I don't know, America. Yeah.
So you mean like European only find true love?
They try, yeah. They try to only find true love. Sometimes it doesn't work out, obviously, but I think they try. Well, I don't know if that's really the case in Asia. So like while being a couple, like matching outfits are really weird to me. It's like really unusual in France. So, I don't know. Some of my friends told me that when you go to Korea, you feel lonely because everybody's a couple.
What is the best thing living in Paris? If anybody they want to maybe move to France or learn French culture?
I think that's a really good question. What's the best thing? Maybe the history. Paris is a really like historical city, so there's a lot of really great place, really ancient place to visit, and it's really interesting to learn about all the history. Just like by walking and by discovering the city. I think that's really interesting. I think also the food is really great in Paris. So if you like eating, you will be very happy there, even if it's if it can get really expensive really fast. But still, you can still find some like really family-owned small restaurants with really, really good food, and that's really a nice thing about Paris, I think.
How about the thing you dislike about Paris?
Everyone is so busy. Yeah, and everything goes so fast. So, yeah, and it's hard to make friends actually. Actually, maybe that's the thing I hate the most. I think it's hard to make friends. It's hard to like have a connection with them, you know, to be like more than acquaintance. To become really friend. I think it's really hard with Parisian because yeah.
So do you feel it's easier to make friends in Asia?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I think so. Taiwanese people here are really, really welcoming and really open, and that's really, really nice about Taiwan. I really like that.
For French young people, do you feel a lot of people they want to move to different European country because of maybe the working condition, salary in France?
I think actually we have great working conditions compared to some of the other European countries. So I don't think that much people want to move like in Europe, or not because of that at least, because you've heard about the retirement plan protest in France recently. There's been a big protest because the retirement age is going to change. Exactly. So French people are protesting so that it doesn't change. But a lot of Europeans wants to come to Asia. Or a lot of French people wants to come to Asia, at least that's...
Why?
Like the culture, I think with Japanese and South Korea, like soft power. A lot of people discovered even other countries in Asia, not only Japan and South Korea. So I think that's why a lot of people want to come and like just discover country, meet locals and stuff like that. I think that's really interesting. Like a lot of the people I talk to, people I talk to in Paris that I don't really know, and I tell them, oh, I'm coming to Taiwan, or I'm an Asian study major, and they're like, oh, that's so cool. I've always wanted to go in Asia.
How to say friend in French?
Ami.
Ami.
Ami.